Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a Who's Round special. It's been a while since we've done a Who's Round, but there's a lot of Doctor Who news to cover from B&M, new logo, a new Doctor, and we've had a big episode. Once again, I am joined with Luke.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you for having me here.
It's a pleasure as always.
Yeah, I feel like usually with news topics, they sort of just get absorbed into our other streams, really, don't they? You know,
Yeah.
sort of have a main topic and then have a quick discussion of the news. But there's been so much news recently. Like, it's only been a couple of days, and just everything's exploding all over the place. So it's worth giving the news its own little highlight today.
And
Making
plus, we haven't done one of these for a while. So
Yeah, it's showing our faces, letting everyone know we're alive. Well, you're showing your face at least.
yeah, well, you know,
I'm showing
got
my logo.
yeah, well, we'll speak of a new logo in a minute.
Yeah.
You know, but
I
yeah.
suppose mine needs an update, really.
Yeah, well, yeah. Get with the times, Luke.
Ah,
But yeah. Hello, Stylish One. Hello, David Butler. Thanks for joining. Hello, Lurkers. Thanks for joining for this sort of impromptu stream. So, should we dive in a little bit about Power of the Doctor?
yeah, let's go for it. I mean, we'll be talking in depth about it with our Regeneration Advent calendar towards the end of the year. That'll be the final one, so look forward to that on Christmas Eve. We'll give it a rewatch before then. Collect our thoughts, really dive in depth there. But this is just our quick initial reactions, and we're a bit divided on this one, aren't we?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Very different.
Yeah. I wonder which the viewers expect to be more positive, you or me. Who?
I feel like there's a lot of recency bias. Looking on social media, there's a lot. I feel like that's a lot of recency thing, you know. And I think people can get swept up with oh my god, that person's back, and
There certainly were a lot of people back. I mean,
yeah, quite a lot.
Yeah, we will be talking spoilers. I think it's safe to say everyone here has seen it already, though. I mean, there's technically a spoiler on the thumbnail of this video. We've got Tennant there, haven't we?
Oh, it's good that he's back. Love that man.
Yeah, Stylish One says a lot has changed since the previous stream. That is certainly true.
Jodie's not the Doctor. David Tennant's the Doctor. A lot, yeah. New logo, new figures. Crazy times we're living in.
New PM.
Which one are we on now?
Yeah.
You know? Blimey.
So much so quick. Yeah, David Butler is also asking, what did you think of Power of the Doctor? So I suppose, should we reveal which of us is the positive and which is the negative Nancy? You're the negative Nancy.
I am the negative Nancy.
I rather enjoyed it. It's certainly flawed. I think a lot of the problems of the Chibnall era so far are present here. It's not like it magically fixed anything. Certainly left a lot of loose threads lying around. But maybe it's just, you know, I like being appeased by the fan wank side of it, but I just enjoyed it. I just sat there and had fun for the most part. So it took me a little bit to get into it. I think the train scene was rough.
I enjoyed the train stuff.
I wasn't a big fan of it.
I think the Cybermen were a bit in it. But then they kind of redeem it with like the Regeneration. And I was, Because it just felt like, they kind of dealt with them very quickly.
Yeah, I'm also not entirely sure on the train layout, how that was meant to be, because I swear, like, where they got onto the train, the Cybermen should have been in between them and the passengers. But somehow they got to the passengers while Dan was at the front of the train. And the Cybermen were at another point in the train with the cargo box. I'm not sure how you can confuse a linear train layout, but somehow it seems to have happened. Or I missed something.
Yeah, the magic of Doctor Who.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, certainly. Once it got into the main plot and you had Ace and Tegan back, I was really enjoying it. And
it was a bit clunky how they got back in it, though.
Yeah, a little bit, but
Like
I mean,
the
it's basically just
exposition with
unit.
those scenes going, oh, funny you should mention that. I'm investigating these planes. Oh, funny you should mention this. I'm investigating seismologists.
I suppose it was then both dispatched by unit to do things, wasn't it?
But they weren't unit, were they, at that point?
I don't know. I think they must have been, mustn't they? And then
Oh,
they just got called in to meet with the doctor.
I don't know. I've only seen it once.
Hmm.
Once is enough for me.
God, you're gonna have to watch it at least once more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a mess, but it had good emotional bits where you're like, that's nice. That was cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. When people go and revisit it, will it still hold up because you know what's coming?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that works.
You know, Jodie, where was she?
She
she just got dealt exposition. It was very much timeless children PowerPoint again for her, which is a shame.
But I think at least that wasn't the whole story. Like one of my criticisms is that the Doctor has been doing pretty much everything in this era, and the companions hardly ever have anything to do. And side characters too. They just end up standing around to the side. So when you bring it back, Ace and Tegan, and my worry going into this was they're just going to be there to stand around and do get the random lines that could go to anyone and such. But no, they actually had their own subplots pretty much dealing with their own leaving the Doctor, which then sort of ties in with Yaz eventually leaving the Doctor as well.
Oh, but Yaz's departure's a bit.
Yeah, I've noticed when an incarnation played by David Tennant comes along, a companion of the previous Doctor just gets left behind because it happened to Jack, and now it's happened to Yaz.
But it's so Dan. I'm fine with Dan's exit because otherwise we'd be complaining, going, "Well, he's just standing around like a lemon," like you were saying.
Yeah, it left it less cluttered, and I think also it works with a companion getting to leave on their own terms, and it shows that it is a dangerous life, and it does help to mirror with Yaz how she ends up staying there.
I think as well, it's good because in the nicest possible way, we're not there for John Bishop. We're there for Sophie Aldred and Janet Fielding.
Yeah, that's true. It is about freeing them up. I mean, I think Graham had more to do, didn't he? Really? Than
that entrance. Oh yeah, I'm just investigating volcanoes.
Yeah, I'm a volcano inspector.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't expect Bradley to be that big of a thing within the story, I'll be honest.
No, I thought it would just be right at the end, little cameo, but no, he did get a decent chunk to do as well. Which it sort of made the absence of Ryan even more conspicuous, though.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Ryan, so I didn't really care.
It is funny how he was set up as the primary companion of this era, though. He was the one given the monologue at the start of The Woman Who Fell to Earth, and then he's the only one who's nowhere to be seen in the finale.
Yeah, he's probably playing Call of Duty, He's got chips though, so that's fine.
Yeah, I got chips though.
Got chips though.
Stylish one says, "I'm shocked. I expected Luke, I hate power and evil of the Daleks to be the negative one. A bigger plot twist than Dalek Universe 1, that is. I think Power of the Doctor really affirms my opinions on the Chibnall era. I'm not a fan of his standalone stories, but I'm a fan of his arc-related episodes. I enjoyed this one a lot. Power of the Doctor was messy, flawed, and overstuffed, but I had a good time and felt that every flaw led to an even bigger positive attribute. Also, the funniest scene in the whole show's history. Would that be the Rasputin scene?
I love that. I mean, if they did the Master just for that scene, and it was worth it. But the paintings made me chuckle.
I think that must. Yeah. I think that must have been the Master's entire plan being built around the Winter Palace in 1916 was just so he could play that song.
But it's a shame they didn't use it for the trailers because, the fan edits of using that music, I was like, yeah, it slaps.
I suppose it was saving up for the big moment, though, really, wasn't it? Imagine if it's the previously at the start of the 60th, the first 60th special. This was a previously segment.
That would be great. That would be lovely.
The glance between the Dalek and the Cyberman or is it Cybermaster? I can't remember. It is weird how it like interchanges Cybermen and Cybermasters pretty loosely in this.
The Masters were Cybermasters, and then the Ashad ones were your standard Cyber Warriors.
Yeah. And yeah, that was weird. Like the idea that he just cloned him as an explanation. It's like, like I think you could have just left it at I killed him once, but he's forgiven me, and then just not really touched it again. It sort of like raises more questions than it answers when the Master's expositing stuff about how I'm so happy I cloned you. Because does that mean? I mean, how did he get the DNA for starters? And
he's got the Siberium in him.
Yeah, but is his like?
And I guess Ashad
mental...
had the Siberium in him, so maybe they can transfer the DNA. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, let's not go into science. It's not meant to be thought about.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's just good to get a Shad back because I love him.
I mean, he was better served than Thomas Children in this.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do agree with what Revere Def said, that it would have been better just him rampaging unit. Just have the lone Cyberman.
That scene where he's rampaging through the corridor.
Yeah, could you imagine
like
just
single
that?
take?
Be great.
I feel like having the Cyber Warriors there works as well, though. So it like does add to the threat with more of them around. Him punching through the wall to go after Tegan as well.
Yeah.
And then her falling and magically surviving because according to Janet Fielding, she bounces.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sturge One says, I think Sasha stole the show, honestly. I wasn't a big fan of his incarnation before this. Now I'd say he's a top 5 incarnation for me. So many layers to his performance and so many great moments. I did love the whole thing of don't let me go back to being me. I think that was an interesting take on the Master. The idea that he just doesn't want to be himself.
I enjoyed Sasha in it. I think it's good.
I prefer that take on the Master to the whole Missy thing of I miss my best friend.
You've got a fam, so I'll have a fam.
Yeah.
You know? Extended fam.
I suppose that sort of like nicely sums up how they're doing more in this story.
Yeah.
It's interesting how throughout her era, though, so many people have been standing in to sacrifice themselves instead of her.
Yeah.
And then in the end, she doesn't get a sacrifice anyway. She just gets zapped by, well, not quite by the Master, but by the beam thing that the Master flung at her.
Yeah. Strange. Well, it's done now.
Big Finisher breathing a sigh of relief, seeing Kate Stewart survive, and are probably jotting down ideas for new box sets with that companion group's a stylish one.
You know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen.
I mean, if she was converted into a Cyberman, we just have father daughter Cyber Brig, Cyber Kate adventures.
That is true.
That's one weird thing I wasn't a fan of, the whole conversion thing just being a light show.
An office chair and like some electric going off, yeah.
Like, were they making them into Cyber Masters somehow? Because it did sort of would sound a bit like Regeneration of a sort.
I don't think so. I think they're just your standard Cybermen, to be honest.
Yeah. Which makes it even weirder that they're doing that light show. I honestly thought Vinda shooting the Master in the shoulder would have been the reason why she regenerated. Dumb, I know, but I'm glad it didn't happen. Would have been undignified. Yeah, true. Yeah, because that was why he was in her body, wasn't it? I suppose maybe because it's degeneration that sort of healed that again. I think she even has a line about what's it saying? You know, brand new lease of life or something, isn't it? I'm not sure.
The blossomest of blossoms.
That's
yeah. I don't
know. I quite like them sitting eating ice cream.
Yeah, that was lovely.
That felt very 13th Doctor.
It felt very like, here's one for the Tumblr fans. Like, it felt very, fan arty, but I like it.
I prefer it to the 10th Doctor visiting all his previous companions and looking on solemnly. I think it hit a better note than that. But
I mean, I was a big fan of like everything leading up to the Regeneration. I thought the Regeneration, like spoilers, I really liked it.
I think
really
cutting
loved
back
it.
and forth between that and the companion therapy group was great stuff.
Like, I really like the line "tag you're it." I don't know why, it just so cool.
Yeah, I quite like it, but I'm also not sure on the idea of the Doctor seeing the next incarnation as a different person. Like, I feel it's something that Stephen Moffat seemed to get better than Russell and Chibnall have. Because like with Matt Smith's stuff about, we're all different people all through our life. I think there is something very true and, relatable about that. Regeneration just shows that as a more sped up process, really. Whereas this way of doing it does very much make it seem more like they are just a different person, but with the same memories, which is not really the way it should be. They should still just be the same person, really.
Yeah.
Looking and acting differently. It's a hard one to reconcile, isn't it? Because we're looking at it from a human perspective, and we are seeing it as an actor taking over and leaving the role.
I mean, it is a death,
Yeah, but it's not quite a death. William Russell casually breaking a world record at 95/96 years old. What a goat. I think apparently he stole that record from the like the next husband of one of his ex-wives or something.
Well, okay. What a goat. What a man. What a champ.
Well, I think it was Emmerdale, wasn't it? Or Coronation Street, the actor who had had the biggest gap before that.
Okay.
I can't remember who. But apparently he was married to someone that William Russell used to be married to. So.
Well, that's a trivia section for Power of the Doctor.
There we go. We'll note that one down.
We'll note that one down for that when we get around to it.
Apparently Paul McGann was also body doubled.
I mean, he was really good in it. It was. I think that's where I got the biggest buzz seeing Paul back.
Yeah. I think that's the way the fan wank is done. Didn't feel forced like it did in Day of the Doctor.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Day of the Doctor, when they're all showing up at the end in the TARDISes, it's like complete nonsense.
Oh no!
And I feel bad for getting it. Like, how are they working on that the whole time, knowing about the Time War when they shouldn't be at all? Yes,
I love it,
but it's Doctor Who. I love it, but I feel bad for loving it.
I don't question it. I just get such a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, but I feel bad for myself for not questioning it. Power of the Doctor does it in a way where I don't have to feel bad about it because it mostly makes sense.
I mean, I love the concept of like the Edge. I like that idea. It was a Virgin New Adventure thing from like Paul Cornell.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that's been brought to actual canon, as it were.
I think it's Davison who's like, it's symbolic, obviously.
And you were doing so well.
What he said to the BBC in 2017 when they cast a woman.
Oh man, no. Oh, that's a different rabbit hole.
But seeing him back in the costumes, I think the Tegan one got me more than the Ace and 7th Doctor one.
I think maybe because I contextualized like the Mark stuff as well. I think that probably added like another layer of like, oh, that was quite sweet.
Yeah, it was very touching with the idea with Ace, like, the whole children leave home eventually. I like seeing that more father-daughter relationship there.
I thought that was a reference to Green Death.
Oh, that's true.
With like the fledgling flies the coop. Has fled the coop.
But I feel like the 3rd Doctor and Joe didn't really have much of a father-daughter relationship compared to 7th Doctor and Ace.
I don't know.
Joe was in love with the Doctor.
Yeah.
That's why she ended up getting basically him in Welsh human form.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, she couldn't have the real thing, so she'll have the B&M knockoff.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's true.
There you go. Starchman says, I really wish this episode had been aired in cinemas. The experience of seeing Day of the Doctor in cinemas is a magical one, and this would have had so many crowd-pleasing, crowd-cheering moments. I suppose it's just that Doctor Who isn't that big at the moment, is it? Hopefully it will be soon.
Well, it was rumoured that it was meant to be in the cinema, but it never
I mean, it's got an extra 15 minutes on it, on Day of the Doctor, so it's got more of a movie length to it.
Maybe for like one of the 60th specials, maybe. Russell make us go to the cinema 3 weeks on a trot.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I suppose that'd be like those old TV serials, wouldn't it? Or not TV, like movie serials. That used to work. Yeah. I suppose, shall we talk about the new logo now? Or no, not the new logo. Let's talk about David Tennant at the end first. Because
David Tennant.
Yeah, because we not only had David Bradley, Colin Baker, Peter Davison, Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann, and Joe Martin, we had David Tennant at the end there as well.
A lot of doctors.
Yeah.
A lot of doctors.
We weren't surprised. We'd seen the rumours for a long time.
I can't say we were.
No.
There we go.
I was surprised the clothes changed with them, though.
I like that as like a little nod to Power of the Daleks.
Yeah, both stories that have power in the title and our Regeneration stories feature the clothes regenerating.
I mean, do you think it's like Celestial Toymaker?
I feel like it's definitely got to be part of the mystery here. I think I like how it works as a signifier of something's not quite right here before David shows up.
Even though you did secretly want to see David in Jodie's costume.
Yeah, I think that would have been interesting. Or, just do a Journey's End, have the whole clothes burn away in a bright flash of regeneration energy, and have him stood there starkers on the cliff.
I recognise this. It's long. Yeah, I don't know.
Have a long shot where you can...
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. That's a different version. That's Dr. Screw. It's a 60th anniversary. Whatever anniversary is for
that. I'm not... One thing I am a bit miffed about is the obvious green screen at the end. I think it didn't look too bad with Jodie, to be honest. It was when it cut back to David Tennant, it felt more awkward.
Yeah.
I feel like was the TARDIS maybe green screened in then as well? Could that be why?
I don't think it would have been. I think they probably had the prop.
I'm not sure. Something definitely just felt a bit more off about. Maybe because they didn't have as much time when it came to... No, but surely they would have, because we'd have filmed that back May or June time. Who knows?
Yeah, it would have been May, because that's when they started filming in Camden.
Yeah, I suppose it depends whenabouts they did it, really. Because that's just something they could slot in at any point, isn't it? Starch one says, that Tennant what moment has inspired me to do an edit, which will be the first Big Finish fans highlight video, which will all your history of the black hole. Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. That'll
be interesting seeing our journey.
Oh, dear.
I look forward to checking that out, Stylish One.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
But yeah, so, I mean, I feel like everything we've had to say about David coming back as a Doctor has already been said, really, hasn't it? Either before we had the news or...
yeah.
I grinned from it when he popped up at the end, though.
People just need to stop getting in a hissy fit. Just because David Tennant's popular doesn't mean you have to hate him just to be cool. You can be happy that he's back. I'm very happy he's back.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not going to be nostalgia just for nostalgia's sake. Like, this is Russell. He's smarter than that. And also, you're allowed a bit of nostalgia for the 60th. And this is the right way to go about it after you've had Power Doctor. Like, you've had so many classic Doctors turning up there. I feel like if you were going to do an multi-doctor thing immediately after, it just wouldn't feel right. This is a good way to go about doing something different here. It's like you've got a mystery as to why he's got the same face again. It's not just the same face again for the sake of it.
Yeah, it's not going to be like the girl who died. We're like, why have I got this face? And then like, it's to remind me to hold me to the mark. You know.
Yeah, I wish they never even bothered with that.
Well, there we go.
It just, I feel like often it's both a flaw of Russell and Moffat, where they're a bit too obsessed with explaining things that just did not need explaining whatsoever.
Yeah.
When it came to, sometimes actors just play the role. People play the different roles. People end up looking similar in real life who have no relation whatsoever. It's just the way genetics works sometimes. Sarge person says, I even took your advice and included the Pertwee chest hair conversation in my trailer for the upcoming highlights. Oh no.
Well, that's a highlight in itself.
What
to be
are we
honest.
in for?
Well, in for a treat is what we're in for.
Yeah.
You can clip that.
Yeah, I suppose. Should we talk about the new logo and
yes,
new home for Doctor Who outside of the UK?
Yes, it's a big one, isn't it? I mean, and we knew this was on the cards, like Disney and Doctor Who.
Yeah, we'd heard about this before, but it's mad seeing how many people this has got talking about it, though. Yeah. Like I saw even John Campier. I don't know if you've heard of him. It's like this big.
No, never. Sorry.
It's like this more movie-based channel. Suddenly talking about Doctor Who. I mean, I don't know what he said about it. I only saw the video pop up and I recommended, but it was just surreal seeing someone like that who you don't associate with it at all suddenly talking about Doctor Who. Because it's always been like
it's amazing.
British thing.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing now how the not we are slowly becoming invested in it. Because like my mate's girlfriend's now rewatching all the Tennant stuff. Watch Power of a Doctor, then started to rewatch all the Tennant stuff. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy how just this small little change has just become, wow, Doctor Who's back in a way.
Yeah, it is weird just seeing friends who have not spoken about Doctor Who in ages suddenly getting excited over Tennant being back. And I mean, hopefully they'll continue on as well with Ncuti.
I think so. Everyone's excited for Ncuti.
Yeah, he's very much bringing a big audience from Sex Education as well. So yeah, and it's nice as well that they are still using him as the current face of the show, because they uploaded that Q&A video where he basically gave a rundown of what Doctor Who is. So it's nice that it's not just going to be Tennant for now and then Ncuti. We are getting some form of Ncuti, even if he's not going to exactly be in the 60th. I mean, he was in the trailer.
That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, but I'm hoping it's mostly Tennant for now. Yeah, I'd be interested to see whether he does have a larger role to play, or if maybe that was just specific for the trailer to sort of show that there is still going to be another Doctor after this. This is only temporary.
It's definitely whet your appetite going, well, what is actually going on with it?
Yeah, very true. And it's nice that we're going to get to see that play out over 3 specials. And then Christmas special, and then presumably new series, maybe March or April in the new year.
Oh, it'd be so lovely to get like a trailer at the end of that episode, like the old times.
I mean, I have faith that we would, given that we got a trailer 13 months in advance.
Oh, I just remember the buzz of seeing like the Series 2 trailer after the Christmas Invasion and just being so like, oh, that looks so cool.
Yeah. Seeing a new Doctor in action after getting that brief teaser then.
And just seeing Cybermen, you're like, whoa, this is big.
I think that's the other thing when it comes to the nostalgia argument, is that Russell coming in for the second time, he's already done a lot of the heavy hitters like the Daleks and the Cybermen. So now he's getting to explore the more obscure villains when he goes back to them, as well as making his own. I mean, I'm sure we'll see the Daleks at some point with Shooty. Probably Cybermen too. I think he's not going to be as full on with it in that sense. I believe that, I mean, it seems we're getting Celestial Toymaker for the 60th, doesn't it?
Yeah, well,
Patrick Harris.
Yeah, I think it's a given at this point.
Yeah. And I think, was there even a tease of that in the article they dropped?
It said about games, was it, or something like that? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it in the? It's got to be in the Tenant press release.
Yeah, it's a quote from Russell, isn't it? Let's have a look at what he said.
There we go.
Hello, Doctor Who TV. Thank you for joining us.
Oh. Thank you for joining. There we go. Robots and puppets.
Mystery, horror, robots, puppets, danger and fun. So yeah, puppets. That certainly makes you think Celestial Toymaker, perhaps. Yeah. But, I mean, maybe we could be wrong.
It's just good to see like proper. I think Russell knows.
Yeah. I mean, we've just come off of a big celebratory story with Daleks, Cybermen, and the Master. I think Russell knows to give them a rest for now and to go and the less popular villains. Give them a.
I think it falls into that category of going, like, for the not we think, oh, Doctor is facing the Daleks every week. And you might have a Cyberman once in a while, you know.
I think also the media landscape has changed where with a lot of comic book movies now going really obscure, people are sort of happy to accept these things rather than just getting like the big heavy hitters now. Like, I mean, we're at a time where films like Guardians of the Galaxy are making loads of money and those characters are household names, whereas in the comics they were like what 10, 20 years ago, people really known Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman. So I think it's sort of showing now that we can take these more obscure things and run with them, really. And so I think that's what we're going to be getting with this second Tennant era and Shooty going forward.
It's making deep cut stuff, you know, popular.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I mean, like you got Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squads, like characters like that are now just being able to hop off the comic book page and onto the big screen. I mean, perhaps some comic book villains might pop onto the small screen with Doctor Who at some point. Yeah, so what do you make of the new logo anyway? Or the old logo?
I really like it. I like it. I think it's great.
It's a nice little clean up job of the original.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's not much else you can say. It's good.
Yeah. It works much better for like the because so many things with social media now, you need like a logo that'll fit into the square to go with your profile picture. I think it works a lot better than the previous like Who with the circle around it. I think that did look rather awkward. This is very much made for that now, thankfully.
Yeah, it's got like a nice sort of TV movie background to it. Like the stars and the vortex coming through as well. I like it. Yeah.
I mean, even TV movie that reached back to the Pertwee era for its logo. So
it's still the goat logo.
We'll just have to see how this affects Big Finish going forward, because the collection, as far as we know, is safe. Russell has confirmed that because he knows what us fans are like. He knows
the important question.
He knows this fandom and accepts it for its flaws.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly when it comes to Big Finish, sort of unclear at the moment. I imagine someone will be writing into the podcast and we'll get an answer from Nick eventually. But yeah, I mean, should we go into figures now, or since we're talking about Big Finish, do you want to do Big Finish?
should we do Big Finish? So we can blitz through that.
Yeah, it's only a couple of, and then we'll end up on a more chunky topic for the end there.
So,
yeah. I don't think there's been much Big Finish news since we last streamed, really. Even though it's been a little while, I think because of Power of the Doctor, they've sort of been holding back a lot of things, haven't they? They're not allowed to overshadow that.
I guess now we're gonna get a bombardment of everything, you know.
I mean, it sort of started today with that Fourth Doctor cover.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where was our last bit of news? Geronimo Yanto.
I think it might be the Eighth Doctor one.
Where is the Eighth Doctor stuff?
Right near the top, underneath class.
Okay, got you. Shane Ritchie.
Yeah.
As Drax. I'm very excited for this.
Do you know much about the actor?
I know him from EastEnders as Alfie Moon, and he's a good fit to Drax. I'm very excited for it because John Dorney's teased about it. But it's a nice sort of continuation from A Trouble with Drax, and that was one of the standouts from 2016. And I've just got a real good feeling about this Eighth Doctor set, to be honest.
No. Hopefully it'll be good just getting the Eighth Doctor having a bit more fun. With all the overarching stuff, even when it is a more light story within that, you've got a shadow cast over it, don't you, by the main arc. Whereas this, this first story at least, will hopefully be a good bit of fun in the same vein as Trouble with Drax. And then Love Vampires by James Kettle. Seems okay. James Kettle's sort of been a bit hit and miss recently. Like we had the amazing Blazing Hour, but then we've also had some of his Ninth Doctor contributions, which I'm not a fan of. He's written the Eighth Doctor before in Stranded. Was it Snow he did there? Yeah, Snow, that was a good one. So he's got a good track record with Dan.
I'm trying to think. Did he do one in Stranded 1?
No, I don't believe so. I think that was John Dorney, Matt Fitton, Lisa McMullen, and David K. Barnes, I think, wrote the final one in that.
Oh, yeah, okay. Somehow in my head thought he did one in Stranded 1.
And then we've got Albie's Angels by Roy Gill, as we look into Helen Sproller Alfie a bit more, which should be interesting, because he was the one who got to introduce, well, not quite introduce, but name drop him in Unit Dating, was when we first heard about Albie. So I'm imagining a bit more of an emotional ride for that one.
Yeah, it'd probably be like an Absent Friend one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to these Eighth Doctor sets.
Yeah, good covers. Stories sound great. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, just nice to get something different for the Eighth Doctor as well.
Yeah, I kind of want it now after like the hype of McGann. I'm like, right, give me some.
Yeah,
good McGann. You know.
I suppose Time War now. War Doctor back again. What did you make of this news?
I preferred the fan-made cover. It looked a bit more exciting.
Oh, the one with Sutek.
Yeah, I feel like that seemed like a more exciting premise. For me personally, but I don't know.
I feel like we've gone off on the painted cover style a few times before, haven't we?
Yeah, I think this like this cover.
I feel like it's an improvement on the previous one, Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. It's very awkward with the obvious stock images of the Daleks on top of the weird spider things below. There's like an awkward gap next to Ken Bones, is the General, who's also looking a bit effeminate there. It's an image of John Hurt.
Yeah, it's something.
Dalek type. it's a very standard cover, isn't it? It's like you got the row of characters on the top, the row of characters on the bottom. We'll go with that. Yeah,
I mean, the box set sounds great. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I think it's nice to get another 3-parter, and it'll be interesting to see how that works all by one writer. But, I'm not a fan of the name change, though, because it was He Who Fights Monsters. Now it's He Who Fights with Monsters.
It feels very Stephen Moffat-y title.
It just feels like some grammar Nazi message Big Finish saying it should be with monsters. He Who Fights Monsters doesn't make sense, but He Who Fights Monsters is a cooler title.
I feel like that's a Nick thing because Nick's big into titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, not long until we get this one now, because we're coming up to the end of the year, scarily enough.
Don't mention that. Take it away. We're fine.
We're fine. Yeah. We've got all our Regeneration advent calendar in the can. We're fine.
Yeah, it's not like we've got plenty of days left to do that. No.
Yeah.
You've got time. I've got plenty of time. Speaking of more time, more class, more time in detention.
Yeah. I think
celebrating.
This is just
oh God,
it's just a 1-disc one, isn't it?
Is it 1 disc?
I believe so.
I thought it'd be by Blair Mowat, who does sound design. That's cool. That's exciting. That's an exciting thing. But class ain't my jam. If it's your jam, enjoy your jam. But I'll happily miss it.
It's one of those things where I'm happy to see it's announced because I know I'm not going to get it anyway.
Yeah, I'm happy for the people who wanted it.
Yeah.
I'm happy for my bank. I'm also happy for the people who actually want to experience it.
It's like I know it's taking up a slot of something that I would want, and so therefore I'm happy because I don't have to spend as much that month. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that it is only a 1-disc one. I wonder if maybe the volumes weren't selling as well. I'm not sure.
I don't think the other two sold out. Is it 3 and 4?
Yeah, I think they're limited to 2,500. I think they must be gone by now, surely.
I don't know. Let's have a little look. Class.
Stylish one says, more class. I'm so hyped. I love the previous Big Finish boxes and think they improve upon the show and captured the potential. After 2 years of teasers, we finally have more class. And a companion chronicle in a way, and it will apparently lead to even more. Sign me up. I don't buy recent releases, but you bet I'm going to make an exception for all future class releases. Ah, fair enough.
Volume 3 is in stock.
Oh.
And Volume 4 is in stock.
And at 2020. Well,
I guess maybe the recast put him off. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I suppose people might be going more download only because I think Class's audience is much younger anyway. So it just skews into an audience.
You're making us sound really old now, Luke.
Yeah, I know.
Making us sound old. Don't say that. We're young.
At heart. David Tennant's back again.
Yeah. Because I saw this sort of tease on the David Tennant news, the audio news drop with David Tennant, and I was like, oh, I wonder if it's Big Finish related, and it is.
Not quite the Big Finish related we want, but I think probably there's a mandate from the BBC at the moment where because he's technically the incumbent Doctor, they don't really want him in any audios for the time being.
I wonder if this was the other series he was recording.
Yeah, it could be. It's only a 2-disc one. But it's...
Are you tempted by it?
Not really. Are you? Did you get the original?
No. I know it's on sale at the minute, and I'm like, well,
yeah, I think it's going quite cheap.
Yeah, it's like £1.50. So I'm like, you know what? For £1.50, might give it a go.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's all we can say on that, I guess.
It's 16 quid for the CD as well, which is, I wonder if that's a sign of things to come with the changing prices.
That's for new price, maybe.
Yeah, for a 2-disc one, we'll have to see. But I mean, Kaleidoscope's out. How much have you listened to so far? I know you started it.
Only 12 minutes.
I'm 2 parts in.
Because I fell asleep.
Not
that it's bad. It's just that I just can't listen to Big Finish at the minute. Yeah, I literally can't. This is a bad thing.
I think it's off to a solid start in the first 2 parts.
Okay. I've seen a lot of praise on Twitter saying that this is, another triumph in the Third Doctor category catalogue. Yeah.
You can I imagine you've got to the point where you're seeing the Claws of Axos similarities, aren't you?
I'll be honest, I have no memory.
I
have no idea what I've experienced. I've got to the interrogation with
Cal.
With Cal. That's as far as I've got, and that's all I can remember up to.
Yeah, I think you might be just about to get to the scene I was mentioning.
Okay. I feel really bad because I can't remember stuff.
You get some funny stuff with the Brig Day.
I love the interrogation room. I love that.
Yeah. Interrogation, interview, what's the difference? Yeah. There's a moment that makes the Third Doctor spout his tea.
I look forward to
that. You got that to look forward to in part 2.
I will say, I'm loving Tim in it. I think Tim's really got Pertwee down. It's just become even more spooky now.
I love how this year, between Kaleidoscope and the Annihilators, sort of shows a real range of the Third Doctor era, because they are very different stories, very different tones, but they still feel perfectly 70s and in keeping with the era.
I think the music has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it does. But also the style of stories they're telling as well. I think does play into it too.
I mean, I did like is it Quantum of Axos, like the little recreation of the Axos theme for like the little sting. I did enjoy that.
But yeah, I'm sure Kaleidoscope, this is us, we're big Third Doctor fans. I imagine we'll get round to a stream of its own at some point for that one.
Yes, if I can actually remember stuff.
Yeah, once you eventually get through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, finally, Fourth Doctor.
Yeah. I really like this cover.
Same here. I was worried you wouldn't. After our split opinion on Power.
No, I mean, I will say the Margaret photo.
It's not amazing, but it's not bad.
Oh, yeah. Everything's, it's good.
I love how with Ryan Aplin's covers, he always manages to mix up his style a lot. Like when you when you compare series 10 to the series 11 covers and now to the main series 12 covers, you wouldn't necessarily guess it's the same artist. I think there's some other artists like Sean Longmore, who is incredible. He has a very distinct style where when you see it, you're instantly like, that's a Sean Longmore cover. With Ryan Aplin, I don't always have that. I had to check to see, have they got someone else in to do the Fourth Doctor covers now? But no, it's still Ryan. It's just mixed up again. He's keeping it fresh. And I love him for that. I think certainly the series 10 and 11, the main covers didn't do much for me, but then the individual ones did. But now we've got a main cover that really does work for me. And I've just hoped that it's not swapped around on the individual ones and now the weaker links. But I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. And certainly it's picked up my hype for this box set a lot more. Getting that classic Ice Warrior Queen there as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was a nice little addition, which I didn't expect, because most of the time it's like the Araxa one from Empress of Mars, but it's very cool.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, it sort of gives me more Graham William vibes. Even that it's more like season 15, even though this is the wooden console room. I mean, you got them on the cover there again. But,
yeah, you've got that nice motif what was on last year's cover. Well, this year's covers, I should say.
Yeah. I'm going to predict that the next cover in the range is going to have that same, like, those lines in the background.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to have those again, but going in the other direction.
Yeah, a bit like how the 40 covers sort of link.
I think it's something Ryan Applin does with quite a few of his covers, because he did it with both Series 10 and 11 of the Fourth Doctor Adventure as well, how those covers were very similar in style. So it's like he keeps it consistent within the series, but then is able to mix it up nicely within the range. So, I mean, there's not much else to say, really. It's just a very good cover.
Yeah, I look forward to actually experiencing it in whenever it comes out, March next year. Which feels wild that we got a cover for March.
Yeah. I imagine we'll be seeing more covers very soon, hopefully. See what we've got for the first and third Doctor Adventures in February.
Yes.
Also, let's see when the new logo, if it ever does, comes onto it. Because I feel like, it could work quite well on this Fourth Doctor cover.
Yes.
It's always a shame we didn't get to see that straight away, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Stylish One says, this new Fourth Doctor cover is great, but the colour saturation reminds me a lot of Space Bullfear and House of Cards, and not in a good way. The colouring is so rough and washed out. Good cover, though. Yeah, maybe that's what makes me feel it's more season 15, the washed outness of it. I feel like, the things like the Sunmakers, that is quite a dry colour palette for that story.
Yeah.
Stylish One says, with your permission, Ben and Luke, may I plug the trailer for my upcoming Big Finish fan stream highlights for everyone watching to possibly view?
Please take it away. Plug away.
I mean, it's technically us still, so
yeah,
happy for it. Greetings, y'all. Hello. Greetings,
hello.
all. Sorry, I went a bit.
Hello,
Rick Davis. Thank you for joining us. Stylish One says, another new logo for the next 8th Doctor Time War box set. Yeah, imagine if that's where they reveal it.
Yeah, I mean, that's on the cards, so, on the cards.
I suppose, is it B&M time now? Is it Dolly Talk?
Is it Dolly Talk? I guess it is Dolly Talk.
I mean, it's certainly more your area than mine, but I can throw in an opinion or two.
Yeah.
I feel like if they can put them up on the website, because they did it with the 10th and 8th Doctor sets, so if they can get some Dalek sets up on the website, I will possibly be ordering them.
Well, the Daleks are supposedly coming online, from what we've been told. I reckon they're probably going to wait for all these to drop and then put them all online.
Yeah, that might be the way to do it.
Which would be nice, because as much as I love B&M, I am getting a little bit fed up of going and just finding a sea of Tennant and McGann sets.
Stylish One says, hopefully that link should work. I don't think it did. I think we had the same problem with Stephen Noonan, didn't we? When he was trying to send something he did in the chat. I think because you're not an admin, it doesn't quite allow that to happen, does it? It's only Ben who's able to put links in the chat. Yeah.
If you could DM one of us on Twitter, we can put the link in the chat.
Yeah,
that might be a way of doing it.
Mr. Bonkax says, the man, the myth, the legend, Rick Davis.
So should we talk about dollies?
Yeah, we'll go for them in order.
We'll go for them in order. So we've got a 13th Doctor set.
In the nice flashback coat.
No, this is actually Power of the Doctors, Jodie.
Is it?
Because she had... This is going to sound really sad.
She
has blue braces.
You didn't even like the episode, but you focused enough on that.
Well, I'm a sad person like that. Okay. But
Which
yeah, so
bracelet
this is.
did she have in Once Upon a Time then?
I think she had like the yellow ones. I think for that one.
Ah.
So this is technically the most recent figure you can have in your collection.
Oh wow. Until the 10 and 2.0 comes along.
Until 10 and Electric Boogaloo happened.
Was
So
it
we've got.
3.0?
Well, that's a different can of worms.
God. Yeah, see, Russell's opened a can of worms with the 14th Doctor, hasn't he?
Yeah, people are complaining.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
We won't get into that.
No, not yet anyway. Save up for next year's set of videos.
It's an odd choice for the Weeping Angel.
There's 2 of these actually.
Is there going to be a fire variant?
No. That would be cool. But much like the 5 Doctor set last year, you'd either get a Cyberman or Cyber Leader. With this, you'll either get a Serene Angel, the one in the picture, or you'll get a Screaming version. So I guess that's down to your personal preference, really.
So either way, you're still stuck with the clear one.
Yeah.
It feels
hologram.
Yeah. I mean, it's meant to be it coming out of the TV, isn't it? But it doesn't really capture that quite well, because that was quite a solid one. I wonder if they're going to end up doing these for the 5th and 7th Doctor. And Jodie, to be fair.
They could just, like Hasbro have like the carbonized sort of credit collection. We can have like the hologram series. I don't know.
This feels like the androids of last year, doesn't it? Or like just the androids, the Vord and Sensorite, that body.
I don't think this is the worst set of the year. I think this offers something a little bit different compared to the Summer Wave.
Yeah. I don't quite mean in that sense. I more mean in the repeatedness of it. In that,
okay,
you've got the clear Dalek. Now you've got a clear Angel, and we've also got a clear.
Oh, I get you. Like the gimmick of like hologram sort of. Yeah, I've got you. Like clear plastic, which is where all the budget goes.
Yeah, I feel like they sort of spread it out across more sets. So that cheapens the cost of doing that clear plastic. I think might be the reason for it.
Yeah.
I suppose, shall we have a look at said 9th Doctor set?
There we go. So
posed Rose.
It's amazing that a figure that came out in 2005 still has a use. So I believe this is Aliens in London World War III costume, I feel. Or was it End of the World sort of look? I'm trying to remember.
I think it looks End of the World.
End of the World. I guess an iconic look for Rose.
Yeah, I'd say. It's certainly an iconic figure, or infamous.
Yeah, I mean, Mel's going to be annoyed going, why is that a thing? Because she's a Billy fan. She might pick this one up because it's Eccleston. So it'll be a free one for me, which is good. So with this one, we're finally getting a hologram 9 after the disco dancing hologram Eccleston. So it'd be nice. So maybe we can get a Ghost Cyberman next year. That'd be cool. We have a new head sculpt for Eccleston and a new jacket. Very exciting. I think because the molding was going soft on it, so they updated it, much like what they've done with the slats. Because they've released it so many times that they've just lost the sharpness, much like with the 5th Doctor they did with the Visitation TARDIS. So it's an improvement on, like, here's 3 Ecclestons. I'll take the Weird Rose.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with Eccleston, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, the rumoured set was going to be an Eccleston, a Gelf, and a Jabe. I think this is a bit more exciting, to be honest.
Maybe. I suppose, maybe they were considering the Gelf in the use of the clear.
That would have been cool.
But then maybe they couldn't quite get it to work, couldn't stretch costs enough, so you just get 2 Ecclestons instead.
But yeah, I think it looks okay. Next set.
Now we're getting to the more exciting stuff, aren't we?
Yeah. The stuff what everyone's probably going to be wanting.
Yeah, the stuff that you're not going to be able to find on the shelves.
Well, fingers crossed we can find these.
Yeah.
This is a very exciting one, I have to say.
I think, is it the first electronic TARDIS in B&M ever?
Yes, yeah. Since they started doing them in 2018.
It's nice that they're actually making use of that now, because they never changed the mold, did they? It always had the grill for the speaker and the box for the batteries, but just no actual electronics within it.
Yeah. I mean, I think this TARDIS would look lovely with like the windows that light up. I think that would look gorgeous. Just to set it off even more. I really like this TARDIS. Speaking to James, he's not a fan of it.
What's he had to say about it?
Well, it was just when the leaked photos come out, and he was like, he just thinks it looks a bit too bright. But yeah, I like this set, to be honest. It's a nice little oddity, like having a set based on adventure in space and time.
Is it actually? Well, I mean, it certainly is. But do they describe it as Twice Upon a Time?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, it certainly is the adventure in space and time scarf, and also the way it's like the pilot look, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
With it all buttoned up.
But the thing with like adventure in space and Twice Upon a Time, there's a lot of times, is that TARDIS seems very scene Pacific. It would have snow on it.
Yeah.
It'll be like the Maldo Kreese figure, like what the Black Series are doing with certain figures, that they're making it very scene orientated. And I like that this isn't just like Caves on Jazani TARDIS. It's got all the mud on it. It's only for that story. I like.
Don't you see it in the vortex?
Yeah, but this should, if it was a Twice Upon a Time TARDIS, it would have the squat roof like the War Games TARDIS. It would be like that.
Yeah.
So
I suppose it was just maybe to get a different one out, because that was fairly recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they've gone through all the trouble with the roof. And new lamp. But yeah, very cool.
Yeah, and Bradley head sculpt as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good likeness, and I think this is the question: where are you going to put that figure? Do you put it with Matt? Do you put it with Peter? Do you put it with Jody?
Do you put him on his own?
Yeah. Do you put him with the Big Finish CDs?
Yeah, you could do.
Yeah, have his own little era.
Yeah, it feels like it's come around right at the right time, this announcement as well, because we have just had him back again. Quite the strength of character.
This is definitely a strength of character compared to the Summer Wave.
There we go.
More Daleks.
All right. I think, aren't these pictures meant to be a bit inaccurate?
Yeah, these seem to be more of akin to the planet sound effects color scheme in the photos, when they don't in the actual video promoting these, what Alduar did. They are more akin to what you see in Genesis. I think they've got the exact paint what was used in Genesis, so these are the most accurate Genesis Daleks in terms of grey color scheme. And I love me some grey Daleks. But yeah, they've updated the dome lights. One has highlighted around the dome lights to give it sort of definition.
Oh.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's hard to talk about them, isn't it? Because what we're describing isn't what's in the actual pictures in front of us.
Yeah, the Daleks are the difficult ones to speak about. Like the Destiny ones, they've used the exact same photo, and they look more like the Resurrection sort of grey blue, when they are actually the more sandy grey color.
Yeah, I think one of them doesn't have the circle in the middle there.
One's like a goon Dalek, isn't it?
Yeah. Stars one says, not dissing B&M, but I wouldn't have associated them with exclusive Doctor Who merchandise. It's funny, isn't it? Because I feel like a lot of people do get excited about B&M for very different reasons from us.
Yeah.
Whenever we think of B&M and excitement, we think of Doctor Who figures. But for other people,
when you actually find them,
yeah, it's like the equivalent of IKEA, isn't it? In a way,
but yeah,
it's like a day out.
Yeah.
Since you're the knowledgeable one on figures, Ben, why did they stop doing this kind of figures and did smaller ones for a while? And why are all the new ones only at B&M of all places?
I think the toy industry has massively changed. We said goodbye to Toys R Us, but that's coming back because Russell's coming back.
Russell's bringing the whole gang back with him.
Russell's bringing the whole squad back. I think the 3.75-inch failed because of fan backlash. Really, I think people were so set on the 5-inch figures, and I didn't really commit to that because I was like, that's not what it's not my passion. That's not my love. They're not my figures.
I think the idea, because that was sort of where the toy industry was going, wasn't it? Where it was a lot more smaller figures. I think
it was more so you could do vehicles and you could really flesh out worlds. Really,
because they had those diorama sets, didn't they?
Yeah, the time zone play sets, which were mostly cardboard.
But now I think things very quickly shifted back to like not just with Doctor Who, but certainly Star Wars with its 5-inch figures. They are
that started 21st. Yeah, that was the thing. Doctor Who went smaller, Hasbro went bigger.
Yeah, and certainly Hasbro still does like they have vintage collection for those 3.75 ones. But I think speak to any vintage series collector and now complain about how the Black Series gets all the good stuff and gets most of the figures. Yeah, so certainly it does seem like the bigger figures are the way to go again.
I think they've realised that. I think this is why they're in B&M, is that Doctor Who's collector's market's quite niche. B&M are willing to put them. It's one store. They can just put them all out. Happy days.
I suppose they also had that fail with the character online stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean the character online stuff. I think they're still happening. I don't know if the Cylons have done as well as they wanted them to.
Yeah, I more meant back in
the Missy one
with the Missy ones, because that was meant to be the start of loads of online exclusives, wasn't it? But I think that didn't go as well, so they had to cancel a lot of them.
I think that was more down to like the character choice, to be honest.
Yeah, I think probably price didn't help as well, wasn't it? Because it was like you could spend. It was 20 quid and there was 2 different Missy figures, so it's like 40 quid in total for just 2 figures. And then meanwhile B&M has 20 quid for 3 figures, or used to. It's now gone up to 21.99.
Yeah, 21. Yeah, 22 quid.
Yeah, but still, that's still a much better value for money than that Missy figure was, which ended up in the B&M set anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Didn't they have the gimmick of the swappable heads?
Yeah,
you get both Missies and then you can swap the heads around.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, the Missy one had an exclusive box, where it was done like her little phone thing. But then the ones that character couldn't shift went to Toys R Us in the end, so they just clogged up Toys R Us's shelf when they were closing.
It's bizarre thinking of just getting one Doctor Who figure on its own now, because they always are like a set of 2 or 3 at this point.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting way of doing it now.
Yeah. I mean, certainly when B&M first started, it was just literally repacks, wasn't it, of existing ones for a while?
Yeah, B&M's initial goal was, well, the range started to give you more hard-to-get figures, like Rassilon, A River Song and Spacesuit, stuff like that, where they were making them more accessible, like the FP exclusives, like the City of Death Tom, just making that, and then it slowly evolved to, here's a variant. Oh, we can do new head sculpts. We can give you these body wraps for figures, new PVC pieces. You've got a new character. And I think this year we've seen sort of a slight regression especially the Summer Wave. I think they probably blew all their budget last year going, here's some boards, here's sensor rights, enjoy. And now I think we're sort of paying the price because I don't think they shifted as well as they expected them to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's why they're putting them online now. But I think going online with it is the right way to go, though, because a lot of people are tiring of the hunt for figures now, aren't they?
Like I loved the hunt because it was a buzz going, but now because I think this year the figures I'm not that asked about, but I still am getting them. It's just made it painful when they're not there and you see the sign and you're like, they're gone. So it is getting to that point now where, like, as much as it's nice having that buzz of wow, getting it, it's just so convenient just to click an order now.
Yeah, I think once you start doing that, you'll probably end up not really missing it, won't you?
Yeah, for sure.
But Destiny Daleks, I think. Is there anything else to say about those before we get to the final ones?
They've definitely bashed them up.
Hit them with a baseball bat.
Yeah, and it's interesting that these Daleks are A and C. So continuing, it looks like the Davros sets are going to be a given for special release in B&M. So I reckon we're going to get a Davros and a Bomber Dalek next year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So
do you think that'll be with the next wave, or do you think that'll be like on its own? Like we had the robot that was sort of last year, but ended up coming out this year.
I reckon it will be next year. I reckon it'll be in the next wave, personally.
Yeah, my only thing with that is like then, because presumably they'll do another one for Resurrection,
and
then going for like, will they keep doing that but leave the History of the Dalek sets behind? Because like then you'll have a Destiny set in a wave with a Resurrection and Revelation Daleks.
I reckon we'll be fine. I reckon you still get your 4 History of a Dalek sets plus your Davros.
There. Yeah, so it'd be interesting. I mean, I imagine since Planet got 2, I think at least Remembrance is going to get 2.
Oh, Remembrance is going to be milked a lot.
There's so much potential there. Shall we show off the creation of the Dalek set?
Yes, we can. If I can get the page up. There we go. So this is probably the most exciting one, I would say, of what it actually offers, that you can remove the plunger and the gun, and you can recreate the end of part 1's cliffhanger. Because it comes with
got like those little accessories as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, what you can attach to the plunger and gun, and you can recreate like them being slotted in the Mark III travel machine.
I suppose you could go give them to your Harry Sullivan or your 4th Doctor.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could for sure. I mean, great. I mean, it's a bit annoying that the Genesis Dalek doesn't have the grey on the eye stalk. And this has a new plunger because normally the character plungers have like give it a sort of a telescopic look where it extends, but this is just your standard plunger not extended.
I suppose it's maybe because they had to remold it so they could get it to pop out.
I guess it's to give it more strength, really, I guess.
Yeah. And also it probably, I don't know if the original ones have the hole in the back.
No, I don't think so. It's because I think they've had to alter the ball joint for this to allow it, really. Yeah. And it's good that it's still a ball joint that you can move them up and down, and it's not just like held in place.
It would have been interesting if they found a way so that you could put the whole thing with the accessory plugged in the back in there.
I think you can actually.
No, I swear it's meant to be like solid inside.
Oh, I thought like you can give like the wires hanging out on the gun. I don't think you can pull it properly in.
No, that's... But again, even in the TV story, they cut away from it, don't they?
So you can forgive it.
accurate.
You can forgive it.
Yeah, because these are more going for the TV prop look rather than the in-universe look, aren't they? Doctor Who said, TV says, I mean, you could be on Doctor Adventures live stream, Wheel of Content, and you, Luke, as well. And if they're Sasha and Joe and Tegan and the Lone Sidemen and Dan figure very soon, and will they make it?
I don't know, to be honest.
It doesn't look very good for the
no
current series, especially now that we're moving on from it to the new Russ Davis era.
Maybe. Let's have to see.
So this one says, I've also sent you a DM of the trailer, Luke. Hopefully that helps in some way. Yeah, I'll send that over to you now, Ben.
Okay,
and then you should be able to
link in the chat. And then I guess post that, and then I guess say goodbye, because this is going to be a little quick stream.
Yeah, just a quick news one.
Quick news one.
I suppose, can we get can you share screen and we can get a live reaction to Stylish One's video?
Yeah, we can do. If my laptop will play ball.
Yeah, we'll have to see here.
Hopefully it will load. There we go.
Would it be better if I did it? Just to save your laptop.
It's loading now. I think we're okay.
Good. Oh, Mr. Bonk Cactus is grabbing the popcorn.
Oh, that's very exciting. Right. Is that loaded? Setting, present, share screen. See, we've not watched this, so this is going to be interesting. Can you see, Luke?
I can see a spinning wheel. Here we go. Here it is.
Oh, all right. Should we click play?
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Are you ready? Hopefully we can all hear it.
I cannot hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it? Oh,
I can just... It's very quiet, though. I can hear our voices, but I can't make out what we're saying. So I don't know if the viewers can either.
I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat so people can give it a watch, and I'll put it in the comments after the stream so they can sit back and enjoy this as well.
There it is. Mr. Boncactus says, by the way, Ben, whatever happened to Skyrim Mondas Productions? I think he's just off doing his own thing, living his own life.
He's off doing his own thing, yeah. Good old man.
We're still in contact with him, but yeah, YouTube's not really a passion of his anymore, I suppose. Or Doctor Who so much.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, he is. He's very much still alive last time we checked.
Yeah. He enjoyed Power of the Dog.
There we go.
I was just excited for Russell, so there we go. But yeah. I guess that's pretty much us done for tonight.
Yeah, there we go. We've covered all our news bits, and we'll be back at some point with another live stream of some kind. Maybe Kaleidoscope next.
Yeah.
I think you're a bit more busy these days, so
yes,
we're penciling them in when we can.
Or it's normally like, I'm free that night. Let's do it, and much like tonight. this is only like a 24-hour old idea.
We
So I think
we're bouncing around the idea of doing one about Power of the Doctor for a while.
yeah,
or maybe we can do one about everything we know before it drops. Like a quick 1 day to go one, and then it was what if we do the immediate reaction afterwards?
yeah.
But just things don't always work out. The chaos of adult life, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a thing. Like this is a nice little escapism thing to do when we can, really.
No.
But we're still committed to do these. We're doing a whole 24 video series. Well, 25 if you include like the little retrospect at the end or whatever.
Mr. Bonk Cactus was there for the 13th reaction stream.
Gosh.
Productions. I assume you mean the 13th Doctor reveal one.
Yeah.
Where I think the less said about that, the better.
Yes.
We said we've grown since then.
Yeah, for sure. We're out of our edgy teen phase.
Yeah. Starchman says, hopefully you all like the trailer, and depending on what the next stream is, the first highlight reel, which will be all about the black hole, and you're changing your opinion on it with memes in it too.
Lovely. We love memes.
Yeah, I think we'll have to check out this trailer once we're done here. It's a shame it didn't quite work out on the sharing, but
no, it's a shame. Unless I download it and then you know what? I'll download it and then we'll play it live on we do with the Big Finish trailers.
Yeah, I know.
We'll do it that way. So we're everyone can still enjoy it.
Cool.
It's
a shame you can't get the live reaction to it then.
Yeah.
I think, but it's still us in it, so
we'll highlight it next time we do a stream.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give it the attention it deserves even more.
Yeah, but thank you for doing that, Stylish.
Yeah, appreciate it. Honored.
Nice to know our quirky moments get captured forever.
Who the man? You're the man.
Who the man? 11th Doctor Chronicles, Volume 5.
Volume 4. Oh, yeah. There we go. Right, so if you've enjoyed the stream and you haven't liked it, please like it. We appreciate all that. And thank you, lurkers, everyone who's joined us for this stream. We've had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, it's always good to just chat a bit of news, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's something a bit more laid back than the usual. We're going to review a story. It's less homework.
Yeah, and it's less like let's get the intellectual head on.
We can just relax and share our opinions as they come to us.
Yes.
I suppose take care of yourself, everyone, and we'll see you at some point soon. We'll
Hopefully
be off to record.
Next week.
Yeah, we'll be off to record some more of the Regeneration Advent calendar at some point as well. I mean, it's on track.
Yeah, we're still it's still happening.
Yeah, we're not cancelling it already.
Yeah, it just another thing. Thank you for the response we had for announcing it. It was
was huge.
Heartwarming. Yeah, it was very lovely.
Overwhelming in a good way.
Yeah, I didn't expect it, but it was very good to see that people are down for it and they like the idea. Thank you, Luke. The check's in the post.
Mr. Boncactus, yeah, lads, no problem. Have a good night. Have a good night too, Mr. Boncactus.
Have a good night, everyone.
Pleasure having you here. Yeah.
We will see you very soon.
Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.